says that Peter did not want to listen to what God had to say. He says, listen, he tells Jesus, he says, no, I rebuke that. He says, you are not going to have these things happen to you. But then Jesus turns around and says, listen, Peter, I understand that you have my best interests at heart. You got to be careful who you think has your best interests. Because watch this. You see how Peter was saying, Lord, that ain't going to happen to you, Lord. We're not going to. But who was the one that denied even? Right. Peter was the same one right after this. 2 weeks later when they arrested Jesus and went around the town asking people, do you know this man? The very same one that Peter, oh, I wish I had you. Peter, the very same one, Jesus' right-hand man, the very same one that said, Lord, listen, I'm not going to let this happen to you. That same one was the one that turned around and said, I don't even. Anybody ever been in a situation like that? Where you got friends as long as everything is all right. They posting on your Facebook wall, they text messaging you, they giving you words of encouragement, but as soon as you get down and you really need something, you gotta have somebody say, baby, I'll be there, but then all of a sudden you call them and it rings, and it rings, and it rings, but you know it on the phone because they just posted on Facebook, and Facebook will tell you if they posted from their phone, and they be like, baby, my phone was up, you just posted. Gotta be careful who you trust. Yeah. Paul says, I can understand if it was one of my enemies. Paul was hurt by a close friend. He said, I can understand if it was one of my enemies. I wouldn't have to deal with him anymore. He said, I can understand if it was somebody that I didn't like. I could just delete them and move on. But Paul says, but what hurt me is, this was one of my close friends. I wish I had you. This was somebody, the Bible says, Paul said, I took sweet counsel with them. This is the one that I sat down and ate with. This is the one that I did this and did that with. This is the one that I was sat next to church in. And the Bible says that Peter, he denied knowing Christ. He says, they're going to kill me. He said, but I shall rise again. And I'm going down Friday. Well, Jesus says, but I shall rise again. And I don't know if you know it or not, but the word again is made up of 2 words. The word again is made up of 2 words. It's made up of a gain. Well, he says, I'm going down, but I'm going to rise with a gain. That is to say, I'm going to get up stronger than I went down. I'm going to rise up stronger than I went down. That explains it. Why Jesus, after he was buried, the Bible says that his disciples, they were having a meeting, and the Bible says that they were in that meeting, sitting in Jerusalem after Jesus had died, and the Bible says that Jesus had so much power until he didn't knock on the door. Did you hear me? Jesus, he had so much power until he didn't knock on the door. But the Bible says that he walked through the door and said, now I got all power. Now I got all power. And I'm going there, y'all. But I want to tell somebody, you may have been knocked down in life, but let me tell you, just like Jesus, you can rise again. Just like Peter, you can have a new name again. Let me tell y'all. I was watching a story about a basketball player. His name is Derrick Rose. And about a year ago, Derrick Rose, he suffered an injury and he couldn't barely walk. And if anybody knows this young man, you would know he's an ambitious young man. He's an independent young man. And the news channel said he went back to Chicago and started rehabilitation. Well, the team doctors and the team trainers called the rehabilitation center. They called the rehabilitation center and said, send him somebody that can help him get around every day. But they showed Derrick back at his home in Chicago. When they showed him, he had lit his home. He said, I don't need nobody to help me. I can do it with the help of the Lord. And Derrick went home, got him some rope, tied it to the mailbox, got him some rope, tied it to his refrigerator, got some rope, tied it to the bathroom, got some rope, tied it to the bedroom. So the lady came from the nursing home. She said, your family called us and told us that you can't do nothing on your own. Well, Derrick Rose said, my family don't know what they're talking about. The lady looked at Derrick Rose. She said, why do you have all of these ropes in your house? He said, this rope right here is to the mailbox. So whenever I need my mail, I pull on that rope and get my mail. This rope right here is to my refrigerator. So whenever I get hungry, I pull on the rope and limp to my refrigerator. This rope right here is to my bathroom. So whenever I need to use the restroom, whenever I need to take a bath, I pull on that rope and limp to the bathroom. That rope right there is to my bedroom. So whenever I get sleepy, I pull on that rope and limp to my bed. She's lady from the rehabilitation center. She looked at Derrick. She said, I understand the rope to the mailbox. I understand the rope to the refrigerator. I understand the rope to the bathroom and bedroom. But there's one other rope. Derrick, I just don't understand why you got a rope from here to there. He said, well, what I didn't tell you is if I need to go higher in my house, what I didn't tell you is I got another level, call it the second story.